it's Lisa. Welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to be using the Candy to Share stamp set, and I'm also going to be using the jar dies. I'm going to be using the mason jar dies. And in addition to that, I'm going to be using the tags. So these tags for the mason jar. So to get started, I am going to stamp out some gumdrops, and I've already picked my colors. So I've got strawberry, banana, candy, grape, and sky. So I'm just going to be using the outline of the gumdrop, and I'm just going to stamp a few on their corresponding colored cardstock. So here I've got the banana with the banana cardstock, and then I'll do, the grape with the grape cardstock, so on and so forth. Okay, so you can see what that looks like. So the die for the gumdrop is actually a die that's in the jar dies, and it's this particular die right here. So I am going to die cut all of these gumdrops. So here's all my gumdrops. So for the background, I'm going to use this pattern paper. It's a mint chip with white stripes, and it comes from the Happy Birthday collection. So I'm gonna just trim this down and run this through my die cut machine, just like that. And for the top piece, that's gonna be die cut with the powdered sugar cardstock. So here are my two die cuts. I'm gonna take this one, and I want this to be a shaker card. So I am going to use my craft knife, and on this die cut, you can see that there are some lines going around where the inside of the jar is, and I'm just gonna cut away at those lines. Now for the topper piece, I am going to die cut that in mint chip as well. All right, so here's my three pieces. I'm gonna go ahead and add some foam to the back side of this, and you're gonna need some thin foam. And I had some thicker foam, and I just cut it down because you need the thin in order to go on this line that is shown here. And this foam is gonna be what is gonna hold your shaker pieces inside. So I definitely need to get this thin foam on these lines here. And then I'm going to put the foam just right to the very top of this piece. And you want to make sure that all these foam pieces are connected. Otherwise, depending on what shaker bits you're putting in here, the pieces can end up falling out if you're not connecting your foam pieces. So you don't want to have any openings. So make sure they're all connected here and not have any openings. Okay, so the foam is going to the very edge, and it's okay if it's broken like mine is. It doesn't need to be all one big piece, as long as it's all connected. Okay, just like that. And I am gonna add just some foam up here at the top just to add some dimension to the top so it's not just falling when I adhere it to the layer, to the bottom layer. Okay, I don't need to fill this completely. I just want to make sure when I adhere it down that it is still the same height and it does not squish down. Okay. Okay, you will need to cut a piece of acetate and you're going to need to die cut it using this die. So next I'm going to peel back all of this foam and I'm going to adhere this piece to my mason jar base. Okay, then I'm going to take my shaker pieces and I'm going to lay them flat, making sure that the right side with the little speckles is facing the top. And because these are flat pieces of paper, there's nothing that's pretty thick in here. The single adhesive foam that's on here is plenty. If you were adding something that's really thick and you needed room for the shaker elements to shake inside of it, you would need to double up on your foam. Then you're going to put your adhesive, not your adhesive, your acetate directly on top. And you're going to add that with some liquid glue. So what I suggest is you just go over the top of the white, because if you put it on the acetate, you're not gonna know where to put the glue. So here I'm just putting it over the sides and over the bottom. Just apply a thin layer. Okay, and then this is gonna go on top. Okay, the next thing you need to do is you need to take this piece again and you need to run it through the die cut machine again on some powdered sugar or whatever color you want to be showing on the top. And I'm just going to do the powdered sugar. And then once you've done that, you're going to need to cut out the inside again with your craft knife. Okay, and then this piece is going to go directly on top. So you're just going to add glue to the back. Now, one thing I do want to say is that when you are running your acetate piece through the die cut machine, what I like to do is I like to put a piece of clean cardstock over top of my acetate piece as I run it through, because my cutting mat, it actually has a lot of yuck stuff on it just from paper buildup, and in order for me not to get all of that stuff on the acetate so that the acetate is a clean piece, I just put a piece of paper over the acetate as I run it through, and then the acetate becomes a very clean piece when it comes out. Okay, so now we have a clean piece here on top, and then we're going to add our topper. Just add some glue here. And there's our shaker. I probably could have put some more in there. That's really cute. Next, I'm going to take some strawberry twine and I'm just going to wrap this around the mason jar. I went ahead and cut out this tag from the scallop tags. It's the smallest one. and I am going to use this stamp set, Tags to Stamp, and I am going to use the For You. Whoop. Going to ink this up with some black ink. This is the Licorice Stamps of Life ink. And I'm just going to make this hole just a tad bit bigger so that the twine can go through it. Next, I'm going to take the Sweet Treats stamp from the Candy to Share stamp set, and I'll ink this up. Stamp this on to powdered sugar cardstock. All right, I'm going to start putting the card together. I have a card base cut out of the mint chip, and that is A2 size, 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. I also have this strawberry piece of cardstock, and this is cut down to 4 1/4. So this is going to just layer on right on top. I also have a piece of this pattern paper that I got from the same paper pad, 3 5/8 by 4 7/8. Just going to layer this on. Next, I'm going to take some of these extra gumdrops, and I am just going to layer them on the side of my card. Go ahead and put my sentiment together. I did cut out a piece of the mint chip cardstock to layer underneath of the Sweet Treats sentiment. So I'm gonna attach this. And then the mason jar is going to go right there. And there's my card. I think that turned out super cute. I would have, now I'm looking back at this, I forgot to put the pink inside, but that's okay. If I were to do this over, I would have added the pink, and I would also add more gumdrops to the middle. But there's my shaker card, and I think this turned out so cute. And then this is the smallest tag in those scalloped tag dies, and it fits perfectly for a tag on this little mason jar. I think it turned out super cute.